The shadows of World War II hid many profound secrets from the public eye. Across the sprawling American landscape, massive phantom cities arose in complete and total silence. These were not standard military bases designed for training brave young soldiers for combat. They were elaborate illusions built to deceive the most observant enemy aerial reconnaissance pilots. From the sky above, they appeared as peaceful civilian neighborhoods filled with ordinary homes. But beneath this clever camouflage lay vital factories producing essential weapons for the war. The Boeing plant in Seattle became one of the most famous examples of this. A fake town was carefully constructed directly over the massive bomber manufacturing facility roof. Hollywood set designers were hired by the military to create these enormous visual lies. They used canvas, plywood, and chicken wire to build streets, houses, and lush gardens. Actors were even employed to walk around the fake streets during the daylight hours. They moved fake cars and hung laundry to make the illusion perfectly convincing daily. Enemy bombers flying overhead would only see a quiet suburban town instead of targets. The actual factory buildings remained safely hidden beneath the carefully painted canvas rooftop structures. This strategy was not limited to the western coast of the United States alone. Similar phantom towns were constructed across Europe to protect critical infrastructure from severe destruction. In England, the government built entire fake cities to draw German bombs away from London. They lit controlled fires at night to simulate the aftermath of aerial attacks. These decoy sites successfully absorbed thousands of enemy bombs during the darkest days of war. Countless civilian lives were saved by these brilliant works of grand architectural deception. The attention to detail in these fake environments was nothing short of absolutely staggering. Street signs, fake trees, and painted sidewalks were placed with exact mathematical precision everywhere. Engineers carefully studied shadow patterns to ensure the fake buildings looked completely real from above. They knew that a single misplaced shadow could easily reveal the massive secret. Underneath the artificial neighborhoods, workers toiled relentlessly to build the vital machines of conflict. The contrast between the peaceful fake exterior and industrial interior was incredibly sharp daily. Many residents living near these massive camouflage projects were completely unaware of their existence. The military enforced strict security measures to prevent any sensitive information from leaking out. Workers who built the fake towns were sworn to absolute secrecy under federal law. Discussing their daily tasks with outsiders could result in severe punishment or immediate imprisonment. The materials used for camouflage were extremely vulnerable to the harsh natural weather conditions. Strong winds and heavy rain constantly threatened to tear the fragile illusion completely apart. Maintenance crews worked around the clock to repair damaged canvas and repaint faded surfaces. Preserving the visual deception required continuous effort and dedicated daily labor from many people. Photographs taken from military airplanes were regularly analyzed by intelligence officers to verify effectiveness. If the fake town looked suspicious, immediate adjustments were ordered by the commanding generals. The Douglas aircraft plant in Santa Monica utilized similar dramatic techniques to remain hidden. They hired a prominent architect to design a flawless neighborhood over the factory roof. Fake fire hydrants and wooden fences were installed to complete the suburban neighborhood aesthetic. To an observer flying high above, it looked like any other peaceful residential street. The sheer scale of these projects remains difficult for modern historians to fully comprehend. Millions of square feet of industrial space were effectively erased from the visible landscape. This massive undertaking required an unprecedented collaboration between the military and civilian artistic industries. Painters, sculptors, and stagehands suddenly found themselves serving directly on the home front. Their brushes and tools became vital instruments of defense against a highly dangerous enemy. They painted fake shadows onto the canvas to simulate morning and evening sunlight angles. In some locations, fake cows were placed in painted pastures to enhance the illusion. These wooden animals were moved daily to suggest grazing activity to distant aerial observers. Even the changing seasons had to be accounted for by the dedicated camouflage artists. Fake autumn leaves were scattered, and white paint was used to simulate winter snow. The German military also utilized these deceptive tactics to protect their own industrial centers. They constructed a massive fake replica of a vital train station near the capital. This false target successfully confused Allied pilots and drew heavy bombing raids into empty fields. The psychological impact of bombing an empty field was highly frustrating for pilots. Deception became a critical invisible weapon deployed by both sides during the global conflict. Victory depended not just on sheer firepower, but on the clever manipulation of reality. As the war finally drew to a close, the need for these phantom towns vanished. The massive canvas roofs were quietly dismantled and discarded into forgotten historical archives. The fake streets, wooden houses, and painted gardens were erased as quickly as they appeared. Real sunlight finally touched the factory floors again after years of total darkness. Today, very few physical traces of these massive camouflage projects remain in the modern world. They live on primarily through declassified photographs and scattered old government military records. These faded images reveal a surreal chapter of human history, hidden from public knowledge forever. They show us a strange world where truth and fiction became entirely blurred. The story of the fake towns is a testament to human ingenuity under intense pressure. When faced with total annihilation, society used creativity as a literal physical shield. Imagine walking through those artificial streets during the peak hours of the global war. The absolute silence of the empty canvas houses would feel incredibly eerie and haunting. Every window was a painted lie, and every door opened into thin air above ground. Below your feet, thousands of workers assembled bombers that would soon fly abroad. This strange duality defines the unique legacy of the wartime camouflage deception operations completely. A beautiful, peaceful illusion, resting directly on top of a massive lethal war machine. The government understood that perception was just as important as physical armor or heavy artillery. Controlling what the enemy saw meant controlling the actual outcome of the battle. We must ask ourselves what other enormous secrets might still be hidden from our view. If entire cities could be faked, what else was fabricated during the conflict? The phantom cities remind us to constantly question the accepted reality presented to our eyes. Sometimes, the most obvious landscapes conceal the most complex and dangerous hidden truths. Historians continue to uncover new details about the specific men and women involved here. Their personal diaries reveal the immense stress of maintaining such a massive national secret. One painter described his strange duty of touching up fake flower beds every single morning. He felt like a ghost tending to a neighborhood that did not exist. These personal accounts add a deeply human element to the cold machinery of military deception. They transform grand strategic maneuvers into intimate stories of daily artistic wartime survival. The military eventually created dedicated manuals, documenting these exact camouflage techniques for future reference needs. These classified books contained precise blueprints for building an invisible empire from scratch. They detailed the exact color mixtures needed to perfectly mimic asphalt, grass, and brick walls. It was a masterclass in large-scale visual manipulation engineered by true professionals. Modern technology has rendered these physical canvas illusions completely obsolete in contemporary modern warfare today. Advanced satellites and thermal imaging would easily pierce through such simple wooden disguises. Yet, the fundamental concept of grand strategic deception remains highly relevant in our digital age. Nations now build fake digital infrastructure to confuse modern cyber warfare enemy attacks. The canvas and wood have been replaced by complex code and hidden virtual computer networks. The ancient game of shadows simply continues in a totally new, unseen arena. Looking back at the phantom cities, we witness the incredible lengths humanity will gladly go. We build entirely fake worlds, just to ensure the survival of our own. The empty streets of these fake towns echo with the silent efforts of forgotten workers. Their legacy is preserved not in monuments, but in the disasters they prevented. Every bomb dropped harmlessly on a wooden house meant a real family survived the night. The illusion itself became a powerful instrument of salvation during the darkest times. As researchers scan old maps, the scale of this wartime deception becomes even more obvious. Huge patches of land were officially documented as simple farms or quiet fields. In reality, those same fields hosted sprawling underground complexes, masked by painted rural scenery above. The maps themselves were weapons, designed to mislead any spy who found them. The commitment to the illusion required constant vigilance from every single citizen living near it. One loose word could shatter the entire facade and invite utter physical ruin. It was a collective performance of survival, directed by generals and acted by ordinary civilians. They all played their crucial parts flawlessly to maintain the vital national secret. When viewing the archival footage, the artificial nature of the towns is profoundly visually striking. The rigid angles of the canvas houses betray their true desperate industrial purpose. Yet, to the unaided eye thousands of feet in the sky, it was sheer perfection. Distance and speed transformed crude painted wood into a bustling, breathing American city. The legacy of the fake towns challenges our basic understanding of truth in historical records. It proves that official appearances are frequently manipulated to serve hidden strategic agendas. We are left to ponder the brilliant minds that conceived such a wildly ambitious plan. They literally painted over reality to alter the brutal course of human events. Their phantom cities may be gone, but their incredible story remains permanently etched in time. It stands as a monument to the incredible power of extreme human imagination. The war was won not only with steel and bullets, but with fabric and paint. In the end, the greatest weapon of all was a perfectly crafted lie.